Life doesn't always move in the direction we expect. One day everything feels smooth and predictable, and the next day it seems like the world is piling challenge after challenge onto our shoulders. But the difference between people who get stuck and people who keep moving forward rarely comes from luck. It comes from mindset. And one of the most transformative mindsets we can develop is the ability to think positively. Positive thinking is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean ignoring problems, pretending everything is perfect, or forcing yourself to smile when you're hurting. Real positive thinking is much deeper. It is the ability to acknowledge reality, both the good and the bad, while choosing to respond with clarity, hope, and intention instead of fear or defeat. When something difficult happens, most of us tend to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But people with a positive mindset ask a different question. What can this teach me? That shift in perspective doesn't magically erase the problem, but it changes the way we experience it. Instead of feeling trapped, we feel capable. Instead of feeling like victims of our circumstances, we feel like creators of our path. One of the most powerful ways to build positive thinking is to pay attention to small moments. In the rush of everyday life, we often focus on big goals and big problems, forgetting that our emotional strength comes from small sources like a brief conversation with someone who cares, a quiet morning with a warm drink, or a moment when we simply breathe and allow ourselves to be present. Gratitude for these small things gradually rewires the brain to recognize joy even in stressful times. Positive thinking also influences the way we speak to ourselves. Many people spend years being their own harshest critics, repeating thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess things up," or "I'll never catch a break." These thoughts might feel harmless, but over time they shape beliefs, and those beliefs shape our behavior. When you consciously shift your inner voice to something kinder, something more supportive, you're not lying to yourself, you're giving your mind the environment it needs to grow. And as your mindset changes, your actions follow. You become more open to new opportunities because you're no longer convinced that failure defines you. You become calmer in stressful situations because you trust your ability to figure things out. You become more resilient because setbacks no longer look like dead ends, they look like stepping stones. It's important to remember that positive thinking doesn't turn you into a perfect person. You will still have bad days. You will still make mistakes. You will still feel frustrated, disappointed, or overwhelmed at times. But a positive mindset gives you the strength to stand back up. It reminds you that difficulties are temporary, that growth is continuous, and that you always have the power to choose your perspective. So take a moment right now to slow down, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that you are capable of handling whatever life brings. You don't need to solve everything today. You just need to believe that things can get better and take one small step at a time. Because the truth is simple. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. And every day is another chance to choose hope, to choose resilience, and to choose a mindset that leads you toward a more peaceful, confident, and meaningful life.